relating to corporate restructuring landscape. The expanded horizon of fast track merger under Section 233 of Companies Act 2013. Friends, we are aware that the M&A portion is very important section of Companies Act, and it is very game changing also. And under the Companies Act, everything is complicated, everything is restricted, but this is the one section which is providing everything you can plan. And you can get approval of the court earlier, now NCLT, and now there's a new game change has come. Though it was there in fast track merger, but that was a limited horizon. So until now, we have seen that fast track merger was restricted to two small companies, startup with each other, or with the small companies, holding company with the other wholly owned subsidiary. That was a limited area. But September 2025 MCA amendment has broadly widened this scope, and they are saying now two or more unlisted company, mean any unlisted company can do it with borrowing of 200 plus or minus, not more than 200 rupees borrowing should be there. So it means any listed company, if the borrowing is 100 crore, the size is not a matter, you can do it. There is a holding company, listed or unlisted, you can merge with the subsidiary, except the exception is transfer should not be listed, because then you have to give offer for exit offer. That is one portion which is they are exempting, they are not covering in this. So if the holding company is listed company or transferee company is listed company, then you can merge. So holding company can merge with subsidiary, subsidiary can with merge holding company, but the merging company should not be the transfer listed company. Subsidiaries of the same holding companies also you can do. There are so many layers also that you can do. A foreign holding company with this Indian wholly owned subsidiary, that is also one game changer. So this is a systematic change, shift has come, and expanding a privilege once limited to niche area now into a powerful restructuring tool for thousands of companies. Friends, as you are aware, when I said game changer, in India, we have a 15 lakh active companies, nearly 45,000 mid-sized unlisted companies, 6,000 listed companies, and 25,000 subsidiary companies can now tap this route. This is the expected. Thousands of cross-border structure are also be eligible. Now, faster approval will take place. Instead of waiting for 12 to 18 months before NCLT, merger can be closed in 3 to 4 months at regional office and RD office. Lower cost because transaction expenses will reduce almost 40 to 50%, and governance gain, simplified group structure, cleaner reporting, stronger things will also take. IPO readiness, cross-border impact, all these things will give a new dimension, and it will more trust in corporate, and transparency will come. Now, in my opinion, all mid-sized unlisted company, those have a clean repayment history, because defaulter company is not allowed. That is one condition. Business group with multiple subsidiaries can also plan. Listed company with unlisted subsidiary can also look into this. Foreign companies holding with a wholly owned subsidiary seeking simplified integration. Now, for these entities, this law is not just relevant, it's a good opportunity to restructure, simplify, and grow. Shivam, can you just open the presentation? So friends, this is today's discussion. We will discuss on governance and regulatory overview, September 25th amendment, what change, execution roadmap and critical timeline, what is the game changer, strategic application of corporate restructuring, key practical insight and common pitfalls. All these things we will, and our endeavor is that when today we are finishing this program, you are all clear about this concept. And that's why we have invited our two special guests of honor, Mr. Santosh Kumar. He's an Indian Corporate Law Service Officer, currently serving as Regional Director of Western Region at the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Earlier, he was registrar of companies having with 2 decades of experience. Mr. Santosh Kumar will join us at 5 o'clock and he will give answer of all our questions which are there. Then we have Mr. Shri Vinod Sharma, is an Indian Corporate Law Service Officer, currently serving as Regional Director of Northern Region. He began the career as company prosecutor in 93 and played key role in high-profile case like Rajendra Steel, Satyam Sahara and Walmart. As a part of Companies Act 2013 drafting team, he contributed significantly in the provision of the rules. He brings over 3 decades of experience in corporate law, enforcement, liquidation, and investigation. So I welcome Vinod Sharma ji. He's also joining shortly. With the experience of these two gentlemen, both the regional director of North and Western, and maximum cases of the fast track merger will come into these two regulatory officers. So their experience, their planning, and their planning of how they will cope up with this will definitely helpful to all of us to plan. So I welcome both of you and I extend a very hearty welcome to our learned panelists also, Mr. Manoj Kumar, Partner Head, M&A Investment Banking, Corporate Professional. Manoj has done more than 500 merger, demerger, restructuring of listed, unlisted companies, and the planning portion he has done. So his knowledge and experience will definitely helpful to us. And he has involved in the the fast track merger of a small company, and he has experience in the past, some good and bad experience he will also share. So I welcome Manoj, and then Rakshita Lahoti. She's manager M&A and transaction in corporate profession, and she is working in the M&A division since a few years in the corporate profession, and her experience of doing this will always helpful to us. So friends, this is today's our panel, and I just want to inform on the 10th October because our knowledge journey is going on. So decoding of managerial remuneration, we will discuss this issue. This issue is very interesting, important, and requires more transparency in this, and there's so many confusion also. So we will discuss on 10th October decoding managerial remuneration. Now, today's program structure is like this. First, I will give introductory remark and my presentation. Then after that, Manoj, Rakshita will give the detailed analysis of how implementable process is there and how to do this. And then Manoj will discuss about this, what will be the impact. And Mr. Santosh Kumar and Vinod Sharma will discuss about the special aspects, preparation, and the queries which we will discuss, and the SOP issue also they will discuss. So before going to other speaker, I just want to introduce this, that you are aware that earlier Section 233, now it was with the NCLT, now September 2025 notification has changed the entire thing. And the purpose of this is next, the ease of doing business, faster approval, and global competitiveness Indian M&A framework. And India should become like a country which is providing ease of doing business. Next. So this will expand the legal framework and how the merger of 2 and more unlisted company, which I told, excluding Section 8 companies. And 2 conditions are there where outstanding loan, debenture, and deposit is either less than 200 or equal to 200 crore is there. But conditioning, no default exists. You have not done any default in this. So those are company clean, company can go for this. Merger of holding and its subsidiary company, whether either entity may be listed or unlisted, provided the transfer is not listed, because it requires SEBI's exit route also. That is in future also, that will also come. SEBI can also give direction and some solution of this, that simultaneously you can file this scheme with SEBI with some exit opportunity, and then it will be. I welcome Vinod sir for the program. Then merger of subsidiary of same holding company, provided transferor is unlisted. merger of foreign holding company with Indian holding company, subsidiary company, that is also allowed. Now, what is the strategic impact? That is very, very important. Now, one very important aspect is that the scale of impact, more than 90% merger can potentially use this route, and the NCLT pressure will go down. 3-4 months by a regional director that can reduce time to 12 months to 16 months, it can reduce. Efficient corporate restructuring, faster, cheaper, better governance can also take place. Cost is also reduced, 40 to 50% reduction in cost, and governance benefit, cleaner restructure, benefit transparency. Vinod sir, welcome to you, sir. Then IPO readiness, that is another aspect today. When you are going for the IPO, then the company's structure is old one and there are multiple companies.
I think you are mute. He is trying to say something.
Sir, you have to unmute, sir. Vinod sir, you have to unmute. So IPO readiness is also required, that company should restructure. Yes, sir. Sir, Vinod sir, welcome.
Hope I'm unmute now after marathon effort.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thanks for.
I'll just finish it, then I'll take your view, sir.
Please, sir. Please.
Okay. So IPO readiness is also very, very important, because when the public issue companies are bringing out, and then the merchant banker suggests that you have to do restructuring, but restructuring was taking time of 12 months. So they were not doing it. They were going with this defective restructuring, and then they were facing some issues. Then cross-border merger will get recognition of foreign Indian merger. That is another aspect. Next is other strategic impact and beneficiaries segment of this will be one is mid-sized company, unlisted company with borrowing under 200 crore, group company with multiple subsidiary, especially family-run business, and that I always say leaning out. That you have a multiple company, you have formed the company, now you can restructure. Then listed companies with unlisted subsidiary, that is also a simplified process, and foreign companies can also merge with this subsidiary and seeking integration. That is another beneficiary segment aspects. Next is systematic challenges. Now next is systematic challenges. What are the systematic challenges will come in this? And I will request Vinod sir just see this because I'm preparing a complete note also for helping to the ministry. One is capacity of regional director. Now today NCLT work will come. Current staffing is not sufficient, and we have a number of schemes will increase. SOP, if RD has there is no SOP, then each RD will interpret eligibility differently. So that is one important aspect, and my question will be both the RDs that SOP aspects, which Santosh Kumar ji has mentioned that they are coming out with SOP, and Vinod sir will also tell. Ambiguities, debt definition or liability treatment, because what you will cover ICD, long-term loan, short-term loan, the guarantee, what you have to cover, that definition should be clear. Taxation and duty benefit not automatically triggered. That is another aspect. So after the merger, that dispute should not created. Minority protection, if we will run fast, then mechanical scrutiny risk minority investors and their protection will lose. Then cross-border coordination, dual approval delay mergers also. And the fallback of the NCLT, suppose RD rejects, then you will return to the NCLT. Then another aspect. So NCLT again will get this particular issue. So these are some systematic challenges. Now, SWOT analysis of this amendment. I identified there are so many good things has happened, but what is missing? So first is enhanced market position, faster, cheaper, build confidence. That is a strength. Expanded scope, faster disposal, lower transaction cost, build investor confidence. That is a strength. What is the weakness is operational inconsistent, present interpretation issue, weak infrastructure, missing SOPs till now, inadequate regional directors infrastructure because they have a limited team, ambiguity in definition, weak tech integration, that is another aspect. And we want to learn, this is the point, because the purpose of this program is to identify what is happening, and the regulator and the person who is heading this, they can suggest us that what is their preparation, so everybody will feel motivated and work on this direction. Now opportunities are there, surge in M&A, simplification and boost. So first is surge in mid-market M&A, which was already, sometimes they are not going for the time constraint. Simplified structure will also be helpful. Boost fundraising will also there. Benchmark is fastest hub, and then demand for advisory service, that is also opportunity for all. Now, some threats are there, some bottlenecks, divergent decisions and uncertainty. New bottleneck in RD office should not be created because in NCLT, the number of merger is less, but here when the size is there, so more company will come. So RD office should not choke in this. Diverse decision should not be there. Regulatory silence of other law, which are part of like stamp duty, like taxation and regulatory SEBI, should not be create problem. Minority dispute should also not come, because they will say that my point is not considered, and it is a tailor-made things has step in place. And reputational risk, if it is not successful, then it will be a big challenge for ease of doing business. So these are some SWOT analysis. Recommendation for strengthening the framework, some suggestion I have given. Number one, transparency. The quarterly report, public comments can also be relied. Inter-regulatory coordination like tax alignment, stamp duty uniformity, sectoral regulator alignment with that for NBFC insurance company. Professional accountability, empanelment and penalties should also impose, because certification will be the base and regional director will follow certificate of professionals. So professionals should be very, very careful. They should not do anything. SOP and standardization, national SOP should be there. Deem no objection. If it is not complete within particular period, it should be deemed. Capacity building should also be there. Merger cell should also set up, and training program of suggesting to the team about the valuation report, about the solvency ratio, about various other aspects of M&A should be there. Then technology enablement is very, very important. AI assisted scrutiny, like stock exchange has started. When you are filing your DRHP or prospectus, they have software. You can check, the software can suggest the changes which normally stock exchange was suggesting. So you can modify, you can correct, and you can give it. So this type of thing you can do. And MCA21 integration can also take place. The recommendation like data feedback, establish a data-driven feedback loop through MCA dashboard. How many cases have come, what are the status, and what are the problems people are filing, so things can improve. Global benchmark we should follow, and we have seen in Singapore, they have a short form of amalgamation, they have a no creditor approval. Hong Kong court-free intra-corporate amalgamation is there, apply, where companies are 100% held with the same group. New Zealand has a short-term amalgamation process. And then United Kingdom also various simplified processes there. So something or the thing we can borrow from these companies. Singapore, we can borrow, introduce director solvency declaration. In India, to replace part of the RD scrutiny. In Hong Kong, pre-issue tax and stamp duty circular by CBDT state government to ensure no ambiguity. In New Zealand, what we can borrow for intra-group FTMs in India, allow broad only approval, no need to a shareholders meeting. United Kingdom, we can borrow a standardized national template, disclosure notice format that MCA can also do, and time-bound window for objections. In USA, we can borrow, introduce approval right in India, and fast-track route of balance minority protection without delaying schemes. And the Singapore, we can borrow, MCA can deploy AI boots of pre-check filing before RD review, like SEBI or stock exchange are providing. So these things can helpful to us, and the public transparency ensure public transparency for inspire confidence of stakeholders. So these are some recommendation I have suggested. And then policy recommendation metrics, that is also important because all these things government has to do. So leverage benefit widely, promote benefit of everyone, promote benefit widely, fix SOP infrastructure clarification, exploit corporate uses, encourage corporate and advisor to use this route, and mitigate external risk by AI monitoring and interregulatory bodies that can helpful to you. So now, what action we have to call? What is the vision we have to see? First is the fast track merger regime is widespread movement for Indian corporate law, but success depends upon implementation and discipline. Corporate should identify eligibility earlier and work on proactive basis. Professional must appraise skill and provide robust certification and correct picture. Government must combine bold law reforms with bold system reforms, SOP, AI scrutiny, interregulatory alignment, transparency, and training program for their team. So that's why I said this M&A is a game changer. And why? First is shift the M&A landscape from litigation heavy to compliance driven approval. That is one important part, because if you are going to NCLT, the more focus on litigation, not the compliance. Encourage mid-sized deal with earlier avoided M&A due to high cost and timeline. That will also come. Strengthening Indian ease of doing business agenda for making corporate restructure quick and investor, and our ranking will also go up. Then enable capital market restructuring for listed company, because there are so many listed company, they are carrying so many things, because listed company restructure is more important. But because the purpose is, if the earlier what was happening, if the listed company is going for merger, then they have to file entire thing in the court, and then it is taking time and exposure also, so they were not doing. So now it will see lots of listed company will come. Balance of speed versus safeguard, auditor certificate, debt ceiling, regulator, stock exchange notice, all these things we can make a safeguard and template based. And strategic significance for family business, listed group, and cross-border merger. These are the changes will definitely change and definitely bring out some new, so many things. And friends, when I said that some weakness are there and how it can be, first is SOP is essential. RD infrastructure, government should provide more team to the RD office. Ambiguity should be clear, like what is the meaning of outstanding loan? What is the meaning of the guarantee, whether it will come or not? And if the company has a technical default like late filing or but letter cured, whether it is disqualified or not. So all these things are there which should be there. Weak tech integration in scrutiny, because if you follow and if you bombard with 5,000 scheme in a year, then without technology you cannot do. And then in future, bottleneck of RD office has to be removed by providing technological support to the RD office and making a different setup. Divergent decisions should be changed. Regulatory silence of SEBI, Income Tax Department, and regulator should also be changed. Minority shareholder dispute should also be there if the deeper judicial scrutiny is not there. And various other things can take place if we are not working out on technology, infrastructure, and SOP. These are certain things. And if we follow this, I'm sure it will change the game and India will become one of the best place to do this, and structuring and things will change. So thank you very much to all of you. Now, before Akshita, I will request Binod sir to give your initial remark on this aspect, that what is your plan, what you think, and what is your expectation that corporate, professional, and everybody should do. And some points which I told you, the technology, SOP, and other regulators which has different mindset, different things, how we can work out it. Over to you, Vinod sir.
Please. Thanks for inviting me, first of all, Pawanji, and your team. I just wanted to, since I joined late, I would like to know what my is Miss Santoshji sir available? I don't think.
Santoshji is coming. Santoshji sir will join around 5 o'clock, and he has told two things, that he has some meetings, so at 5 o'clock he will join, and he will give some, discussion on ESOP and question answer. He is saying, I will. You
Yes,
can. Yeah.
yes. Because Santoshji is neck deep into it, so I will like to handle this baton by him. But it's not that I'll shirk from this responsibility, and let me share my views also. But I could understand from your concern. We are not afraid of. We are not what not rather I'll call it. We are ready for much more bigger eventuality than this. What to say of this? Uh, I joined somewhere in 22nd of February. Yes, 22nd of February 2024. I joined. Right from that, whatever fast track merger were available here, I don't think any of you or any of professional, maybe on the in the who is hearing me, has met me once even or reminded me to please sit and clear my files or merger or anything. It's not that. We have to change our mindset. Uh, I never invited anybody. I don't call. I don't deliberate on too much because these are approvals. Approvals should happen like approvals only. No unnecessarily debates or discussions. One thing. In case we have any, we post you with resubmissions. Resubmissions are answered. But now I'm coming to a crucial questions. What I have learned. Let me say other way around. What we expect from the professionals or from the applicants. Applicants prefer to reply on the last or a day just short of it, so that it is approved by default in a mechanical fashion by the machines. Even if machines approve it, certainly these are not the orders that can be uploaded with INC 28. If I'm not wrong, you requires an order, specific order. So that even mechanical approval will be of no use. Rather, you should be prompt enough in reverting back to resubmission, so that in case anything further required, that we should stick to the deadlines religiously. 60 days means 60 days, means 55 days, I'll call it. 5 days margin I'll keep with me. There may be holiday, there may be other reasons. So you please put your deadline to 40 days, then only then I will be able to do it. So let us reduce the way it should be. Rather, other way around, we wait for replying to something or submitting our version on 58th day or 59th day. So certainly that cannot be addressed. So let us, both of us, you as well as us, we should pull our socks up for the next challenge. I can assure you, Pawanji, uh, it was, I think, in the whole of the year, I could not find more than 2 to 3 occasions for me to give references to the NCLT. Else, there was no problem at all. At all, I am telling you. We can call the person, we can discuss, we can deliberate, we can read submissions, we can ask for anything clarification required. But it doesn't take a day or so for us to ask and for you to reply. You means I'm not individually asking anybody. It is the fraternity as a whole. They should revert back immediately, and they should appreciate. And no, I have fortunately been groomed by Bombay High Court. I was official liquidator of Bombay High Court also, and I was then certainly registrar of companies there and joint director SFIO there also. So what I have learned in court, Bombay Court, a very classic thing. Let us raise our bar, both of us. Bombay High Court used to hear both parties, and then one of the party was directed to provide the minutes, and minutes was nothing but the order, and that order is signed by the judges. It's a well settled practice in Bombay High Court. Why professionals are not coming up to that level? We assign a confidence in you. Give us a draft order. What to say of anything else? Why we are finding too much fault with anybody? It's not something is many of the time. I'm telling you, it is nothing but a mechanical order. It's not that every merger requires some sort of reasoning or a questionnaire or objections. We should not. Ultimately, I'm from the old school of law. So I still believe in Mafatlal judgment. shareholders democracy. We respect it. And why should not we? And why should we be afraid of? When I joined, I was told that there is uh, so much of pendency, so much of blah blah blah. Nothing. I have only 4 today on my table, and I have yet 15 or 20 days left with me to dispose it of. So it's not that whatever flood may come, we are there. Whatever flood may come, I am telling you. And I hope, I don't know how many are listen, how many can reply back to me. Can I ask a single person who has visited me to follow up the merger? Show me a single hand. May raise a question. I am here to reply. Never. So we have to have a confidence in each other. And let me be very honest. We are coming to a regime where we have to grow a lot. It's not that an NCLT and regional director or an institution or tomorrow may third institution or fourth institution, whoever may be the institution, seized with the power, seized with the duty, seized with the function, has to be religious. Either side. Professional, I think much more than the person who is in chair. I may have 10 reasons to meet my target. Professional must have 200 reasons for meeting the targets. Let us join hand together. In case need be, we can take your help even. Why not? And Santoshji is such a seasoned officer, neck deep into knowledge of it. I am not touching those areas which are going to be answered by him. But practically, I am telling you, my morale, you may appreciate it, much more than higher to meet any challenge. But to say of this merger, you tell me, can anybody point out? I am ready to listen to it. That anybody has visited my office for merger ever in the 1.5 years. Yes, what is required to be only thing what we miss is a power to reject. Certainly, I don't have. I don't have the power to reject. Else, there is no need for that even. But that should be aberration. Cannot be order of the day. Aberrations are always there. But let us, with a positive frame, we will deal with it. Numbers, I'm not scared at all. Team, certainly you people are with us. Team, certainly Ministry is providing a lot of young professionals to us to meet that target, and we are committed. Come at me. We are committed. And we are ready, and I hope so. Not only here, I'm not exaggerating anything. I think all of you will appreciate that even NCLT, you cannot find a single adjournment by the regional director, Northern Region. Single adjournment, I can say, with commitment in 1.5 years. We don't take adjournments. We don't believe in, because we religiously follow one thing for one reason only. Merger is nothing but a financial management of a company, of a corporate house. Delay of 1 month sometime cost much more than what we think of. May even postpone their projections for years altogether. Delay of 1 month. So we don't want to come in the way of that. We are here, all of you and me, and everybody is for the growth of the corporates, and that is the growth of nation ultimately. We should think that way. We may have reasons to disagree with you, but disagreement should also take quickly. Why to take months altogether for that? No need. If disagreement, we may refer it. We will, but that will be aberration. But approval, certainly, without visiting, without follow-up, without being anybody. So I think I have said whatever. I think I'm leaving dais for my brother Santoshji, who is not only preparing the SOP. We all from India have given our inputs to him, and he's giving it a fine shape, and he must be sharing within a day or so on the public platform even. So we are not shirker for any reason. Only thing I depose 200 confidence in Santoshji, and this baton be handed over by him. As far as we are concerned, believe me, no logistic issue, no moral issue, no nothing. Only delivery, that what matters, and that we are committed to. For any query, I am with you.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you very much. We have seen you in the law faculty days when you were in the campus law center with the friends. So I know your dynamism and I know your quick delivery and no pending issues. And when I visited your office many a times, the only discussion is that no pendency. I just want to finish it as early as possible. There's a spirit and that's a requirement also, because when we say ease of doing business in India ranking, it's not a ranking by the country, it's a ranking by its people who are working on this day and night. And definitely this will help. And the way you are showing confidence, it is giving a confidence to the profession, and then it is giving a confidence to the corporate world also, that yes, let's work together and make it a successful. And I know you will, the regional director office across the India will see 5,000 merger
Yes.
this particular
Yeah.
year, and that will come. And that will also create a good system, good procedure. So thank you, Vinod bhai. And
I'll take one second more, Pawan.
yes.
वो दो चीजें मैंने अभी देखी है. Just let me answer that also. Some queries I have seen just now. One
Yeah.
thing. First of all, data I may correct you. It was 2,200 total mergers are there, and out of that 908 are the total mergers which are pending, where second motion has been issued, and there are 342 reports have been filed all across India. I have complete data for that. We are privy on day-to-day basis. We are watching. It's not that. I salute my team, my counterparts, my team, my mentors, my seniors. They are privy, not allowing. We are with no laxity at all on our part. We cannot afford to be casual. Let me answer the replies also. These queries, long list of queries, but I'm experiencing this total query is about flip merger, I think.
Yeah.
People are very curious to know about whether flip merger is feasible. Yes, it is. You just see there is Hyderabad order. There is one order by me also. You can find it. It's available. Flip merger is available. Any other query? And I'm person you know very well. I work at least every Saturday. I'm working also. So please feel free to drop in any message, to drop in any query, to discuss anything. Let us have some other platform, other opportunity also. We'll meet again and again. Law is a evolving process. I never forget. We'll start it. Whatever come in the way, we'll deliberate. We'll overcome. That is the commitment. You will also have the problem. We'll overcome that. Our problem. We'll overcome that also. That happens with every law. So why to be too shy on that count? आएगा देख लेंगे. We'll overcome.
Vinod bhai, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
encouraging
Thank you,
work
sir.
and the offer to the industry that they can come and talk to you, ask the query. I will, from our side, because our purpose of this program is that whatever points we think that government should do, not only suggesting but helping them also. And I offered Mr. Santosh Kumar also that we can help you to create a SOP, and if there's a need, if you are putting on the system, we will give our suggestion and our view on this particular SOP issue shortly. And all our points, all our things, we will give it to you. So I request you, you be there, you can do your work till the time.
No, sir, I'll seek permission if I'm permitted. I like to.
Yeah.
Permit
Yeah.
Santosh ji is going to replace me soon. I know.
No.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a
sir.
lot.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for calling me. Okay.
Rakshita, please give your detailed things that how this fast track merger can take place. Over to you.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining the session. Thank you, Pawan sir, for the brief introduction on the fast track mergers, and thank you, Vinod sir, for sharing the insight of practical cases that you face in day-to-day life. Continuing with what sir has briefed, we have also prepared the presentation with our analysis on the recent amendment that the ministry has rolled out. But before I touch upon the amendment, let me have a quick rewind and take you all back for a moment. So I'm just sharing my presentation. Is it visible, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is visible. Go ahead.
Okay.
It,
So traditionally, every merger, yes. So traditionally, every merger in India, no matter what, how small or straightforward, had to go through a long journey with multiple filings, multiple documentation, multiple meetings, a number of hearings, and public advertisement. And after going all through this, then they used to get the High Court node, now the NCLT, which often meant delays, used to put a very higher cost on the companies, and often created a backlog in the system. The Companies Act 2013 marked the turning point. For the first time in 2016, Section 233, Section 233 was notified, what we call the fast track merger route. The idea was simple, that if the transaction is low risk, then why not allow a quicker or simpler process outside the NCLT, with the approval exclusively vested to the regional director, subject to appropriate checks such as shareholders' approval, creditors' approval, and of course the solvency safeguards. Initially, this route, when came, was applied to the small companies and the wholly owned subsidiaries. But later in 2021, startups were also brought in the ambit of fast track mergers. Then in 2022, the definition of small companies was also amended by enhancing the limits of paid up share capital and the turnover of the companies to be eligible as a small company. And thereafter, in 2023, strict timelines were introduced with the concept of the deemed approval, giving business greater certainty and confidence in using the fast track route. But even then, the scope remained limited. Fast track mergers were confined to a fewer categories, such as small companies, wholly owned subsidiary companies, startups with each other, and with the small companies. While these provisions were helpful, they were still quite narrow in scope. Many companies, especially the mid-sized industrial and unlisted companies, were still kept outside the ambit. In 2024, another major milestone of allowing mergers of foreign holding company directly with its Indian wholly owned subsidiaries through fast track route was introduced, which again was a step forward, especially for the companies that had shifted overseas and were now looking at India as their base again. Because in India, reverse flipping, that is that I think sir has also mentioned that lots of queries have been asked for reverse flipping, because in India, reverse flipping marks a major shift in the business landscape. When traditionally many startups had moved overseas, but today with India offerings a large consumer market, simplified compliances, viable exits to IPOs, and basically a stable investment climate, the momentum is shifting. We are now seeing the success stories like Pepperfry, Grow, PhonePe, Pine Labs, and very recently the Zepto, while many other companies are still in the pipeline at various other stages of their homecoming. So such amendment was brought in 2024 in Rule 25A. Now, this year's amendment signifies a notable policy advancement. So let me highlight the big shifts. Just a second. Yeah. So, expanded eligibility, of course, there are categories of companies that have been brought in under the ambit. Then notice inviting earlier the objection and suggestion of registrar of companies and the official liquidators was included. But now with the recent amendment, we have sectoral regulators and the stock exchanges also to whom notice is to be served, inviting their objection and suggestions. Then the relaxed timelines, there is a specific timeline that has been relaxed, which I'll discuss later in the presentation. Now, with the expanded eligibility, first we have the unlisted companies. So unlisted companies are now also included, provided of course their borrowings are under the cap of 200 crore, and there is no default in the repayment of those borrowings. And of course, none is a Section 8 company, as you have rightly mentioned before. That's again a huge relief for the mid-sized businesses which are looking for consolidation. Then we have the intergroup restructurings. That is, it's no longer about only the holding company and the wholly owned subsidiaries. The intergroup restructuring has been expanded. Now mergers can happen with the holding and subsidiary, even for that matter, with the fellow subsidiaries as well. But subject to, of course, one condition, that is transferor company must not be a listed company. That you cannot lose the identity of listed company through the fast track mergers. Then we have third, the demergers can now also be done under the fast track route. Although demergers were carried out earlier through fast track mergers, but the latest amendment now expressly permit and recognize the hive-off or division of business through the fast track route, that is without the linear NCLT route. That again is a huge enabler for the companies who want to reorganize their business lines, more efficiently and more want to hive off their non-core businesses. Then we have the fourth, which is a specific mentioning of fourth, as we have discussed in detail before, that the amendment came in 25A in 2024, but this time this amendment has marked it very specific in Rule 25 as well. So there is a specific mentioning of merging of foreign holding companies into their Indian wholly owned subsidiaries to the fast track route. If I see, I believe such amendments reflects government's intent to boost the reverse flipping, to promote reverse flipping, by giving a clear boost in that direction. Finally, we have So finally, when I say the scope is broadened, the eligibility criteria had been broadened, the compliances has also been strengthened, and now a new form, that is auditor certificate in form CAA 10A, has been introduced, wherein the auditor certificate confirming the financial condition of the company about the debt position specifically, that is the 200 crore cap is maintained, and there is no default in the repayment on the dates given, has also been introduced, so that only genuinely eligible company are availing the fast track route. The revised form also give the sorry. The revised form also sorry. So the revised form also asks companies to mention that how they have dealt with the objection that have been raised by the sectoral regulators and the stock exchanges, which gives a quite transparent process, but still keeping it quick. Now, these are the forms that have been amended. Introduction of new form CAA 10A, as I have mentioned, which is an auditor certificate basically about the eligibility of the company with respect to the debt and the defaulting repayment. Then We have Form CA 10A, which is amended in line with the new provision, which is to explain that how the company had dealt with the objection and suggestion of the various regulators. Then we have amendment in CA 9. Again, CA 9 and CA 12 are being amended in line with the new provisions only. So this time we are focusing more on amendments in the recent circular and have stayed limited to the regulatory framework. So I'll be very quick with the regulatory aspect. Before that, I think if I have to conclude the amendments, yes, the amendments. We can see that in less than a decade, the fast track law has evolved from, from a narrow experiment to a mainstream tool for corporate restructuring. So what began very cautiously for small and low risk entities is now a mainstream tool for Indian corporates and the global businesses, of course, with Indian operations. And with the framework is such that it strike balance between the ease and speed for the corporates and checks and transparency for the regulators. And importantly, it somewhere reflects government's intent and consistent commitment towards ease of doing businesses, while also ensuring the regulatory checks are in place through the regional directors, registrar of companies, and sectoral regulators who remains central to the process. Uh, Now coming to the regulatory framework. So when we say fast track mergers, I think four major laws are attracted. That is the Companies Act 2013. We have Section 233 and Rule 525 of the Compromise Arrangement and Amalgamation Rules. Then we have SEBI LODR regulation, that is Regulation 37, which again deals with the scheme of arrangement, while there is an exemption also that if a wholly owned subsidiary company is merging with the holding company, then you just have to give disclosure to the stock exchanges, and no approval under Regulation 37 is required as such. Then we have Income Tax Act. For Income Tax Act, I think mergers are whether it is going through the NCLT route or through the fast track route, the definition is same and the applicability is also the same. That Section 21B, which defines amalgamation, and Section 47, it says if the amalgamation definition is being fulfilled, there are certain conditions. Then in that case, the merger, the scheme of arrangement won't be considered as the transfer, and accordingly capital gain would not be leviable. Then we have Section 72A, which talks about certain conditions that if they are fulfilled, then you can set off and carry forward the accumulated losses and the unabsorbed depreciation of the transferred company. Similarly, with respect to the demerger, Section 219AA defines the demerger. There are again certain conditions that a company has to fulfill to come under the ambit of the demerger as per Income Tax Act. And Section 47 again provides that if you are meeting the criteria mentioned in the definition of demerger, then the transfer would not be considered as the capital gain. Sorry, transfer would not be considered as the transfer for the purpose of capital gain. And again, Section 72A says that if the certain condition with respect to demergers are being fulfilled, then you can carry forward or set off and carry forward the losses and the accumulated depreciation with respect to the demerged undertaking. Then the stamp duty provisions. Stamp duty is a state subject. So the basic judicial position is that a court-sanctioned scheme of arrangement is treated as an instrument for hence the stamp duty applied to it. Definition, of course, the transfer of property under the scheme falls within the ambit of conveyance as per the Stamp Act. State variation, as I've already mentioned, that some state have specific provisions, including mergers and amalgamation in the definition of conveyance, while others are levied duty under the general conveyance provisions. Now, the key point is again that it's a state subject, so rate and applicability depends on state to state where the properties are situated, and of course where the registered office of the company is situated. Now, since we have reviewed briefly over the regulatory aspect, let me go through you to the execution roadmap and what are the critical timelines in dealing with the fast track mergers. Yes. So when a company plans to execute any scheme of arrangement, whether for the consolidation purpose or to hive off the business division, the first thing first and the principal document therein is the scheme of arrangement itself. So that has to be drafted very carefully. And of course, when you are going for any sort of transaction, then you firstly are required to value the transaction, value your company, so that you may be able to determine the consideration that has to be paid for the transaction, that is in the form of shares or any permissible instrument to the shareholders of transferor company or the shareholders of the company which is hiving off its business to another company. So first thing first, obtaining valuation report and the preparation of the scheme. Once that is sorted, then next step is to take that scheme to the board meetings of the respective companies, so that board of all the respective companies may approve that scheme of arrangement. So once you get the nod from the board of directors of the company, then notice to the registrar of companies, official liquidators, and with the recent amendment to the sectoral regulators and the stock exchanges as well, is required to be served in the Form CAA 9 for inviting their objection or suggestions over the scheme of arrangement. 30-day period is given to all the statutory authorities and the sectoral regulators to comment on the scheme of arrangement and to provide their observation, if any, and suggestions, if any, and the companies are required to resolve those matters which the authorities raise. Once the notice is served, then the companies are required to file declaration of solvency with the registrar of companies. It may be, I think, any time with before the meeting of shareholders and creditors is convened. Once the 30-day period is lapsed, then you may convene the meeting of shareholders and the creditors for obtaining their consent. Now, the requirement here for the shareholders and creditors approval is 90% or more. In case of shareholders, 90% or more of the value of shares, and in case of creditors, then it's a 90% of value of each class of creditors, that is secured, unsecured, both individually. Once the meetings are conducted and appropriate requisite consent is being obtained, then thereafter, from the date of meeting, you are given a 15-day window. So in that span of 15 days, you are required to file the scheme with the regional director for his approval, and along with the new form CAA 10A. So this recent amendment that asks the companies to file CAA 10A, that is the auditor certificate that the companies are eligible to file the fast track, to opt for the fast track route, is to be filed with the regional director and simultaneously with the ROC and the OL. The transfer companies are required to submit e-form, the CAA 11 in the GNL 1 also for the ROC. Then once the application is submitted and once the application is submitted, the process starts, and regional directors are given a period of 60 days that sir was also talking about. 60-day period to either approve the scheme or suggest his observation or suggestion, or in that span of 60 days, if the regional director feels that the company, that the scheme is in the interest of the company, sorry, in the interest of the shareholders and the creditors, then it approves the scheme. While if the regional director feels that the scheme is not in the interest of the shareholders or the creditors or the public interest, then it may refer the scheme to the NCLT. So once let's assume that the scheme is being sanctioned. So once the sanction is given by the regional director, then a period of 30 days is given for the filing of the order of regional director with the registrar of companies in the form INC 28. Now, in the process, if we will see, there are majorly two amendments. I would see that first, declaration of solvency, that is CAA 10, are now specifically have mentioned that it is required to be filed in e-form GNL 1. Then, of course, the timelines have changed from the 7.5 I talk about, that submission of the scheme to the regional directors from the meeting of the shareholders and creditors. Are earlier it was a 7-day period. Now it has been expanded to 15 days, which again I think is a big plus for the companies, because now there will not be any rush, or quality documents would be served to the regional director, because in the period of if there is any rush, then again companies do forget about may forget about some documents that are required to be submitted. So yes, these I feel are the changes. Then again, CA 11R is also required to be as an attachment to the form RD1. So these were the changes. I think the procedural with respect to the procedural aspect. Now, how to better analyze the recent amendment, how the industry is affected, how the consultants might be affected. I'll hand over the dice to Manoj sir for his presentation and his analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakshita.
You,
So
Manoj.
I think you have.
Yeah, Manoj, carry on.
Yeah. So I think Pawan sir has given a very detailed analysis of the amendment and what impact it could have, what are the major issues which remain unaddressed, or which need to be addressed immediately, so that the real effect can happen. Vinod sir has also said that he and as well as other regional directors are well prepared to handle the volume which is coming, and he has given confidence on professionals and the company corporates to come out with the right kind of a scheme with all the attachment, all the requirements, so that they can process the application faster to achieve what is the object of this amendment. So let me discuss. I certainly believe that this amendment is very, very important amendment, and it is a game changer. So let me discuss a few points which I believe are important and which need our consideration. So why it is a game changer? So generally, as we all know, around 15 lakh companies are there in India which are active, though number may be much higher, but the active companies are around 15 lakh, out of which I believe almost 90% companies are such which are falling under the new criteria which has been given. All unlisted companies are covered, and except two type of companies, one which are having loan of 200 crore or more, and others which have defaulted in loan repayment, and the companies which are not solvent. Except those companies, all other companies are covered here. Then in case of even the rest of the companies, all the companies which are holding and holding wholly subsidiaries are covered under this framework. Then specific mention for demergers are also given. Fast cross border merger is also given. So clarity has come that all such kind of thing, restructuring plan can be achieved through this amended provisions. So obviously a very wide range of companies are now covered under this new regime, and it will certainly reduce a lot of time and effort of the corporate in regular schemes, simplification schemes of the group, or companies which are small and want to consolidate their business or hive off their non-core or different kind of business into different entities. Then there may be the discussion regarding the reverse flip, which has already been done in past couple of months. Whenever the amendment came last year, and within this year, I think a few cases have already been approved by the regional directors within a span of 3-4 months. So which is a great thing. So very wide access to the fast track merger has happened, and it will reduce the huge burden of the NCLT benches, which are struggling to approve the scheme of amalgamation because they have other cases like insolvency cases or cases of operation mismanagement or other kind of bigger and challenging cases which are pending before them, so which are time bound also, and sometimes due to that the merger matters or demerger matters get postponed in many of the cases because of lack of time. So all those things would reduce, and in a time bound manner schemes would get approved. Then it will help companies to restructure, implement the restructuring opportunities which they feel like. If the group has multiple companies, they want to simplify the structure, they can go through this route, because now the sister concerns, subsidiaries of all single holding companies can also participate in this kind of fast track route. So it will not be a burden time. It will not be a time consuming process generally, which was 12 to 18 months process. Now it will get reduced to 4 months. So it will be much easier for people to plan accordingly, make strategies, like in case of companies planning to go for IPO or maybe want to take fund from private equity. They need simplified and consolidated structure, so that can be achieved through this route. Because of that fixed timeline and deemed approval process of 60 days from the filing, investor would get confidence that the process would be concluded within a timeline. And as Vinod sir was clearly saying, in exceptional cases only, they will refer the matter to NCLT. In most of the cases would be settled at regional director level, and that would give certainty and timeline to all the investors. It will certainly boost the cross-border integration. Like a few cases of Dream11 happened in March, April, when the process of reverse flip, which is considered to be very complicated transaction, very complicated reverse cross-border transaction, happened through NCLT within a period of 3 months approx. So that was a huge thing. It gives a lot of boost to the confidence to the investor, international investors, that the process can be synchronized, timeline can be met, and Indian system is much better than many of the high-class jurisdictions. So that confidence would come to the investor community, to the financial people who are putting money, who want to make investments, make plan for IPOs, etc. Then it will also help in quick carve-outs or spin-off. So if the company is planning for IPO or planning to have investment, and there are more than one division in the company, and they want to segregate those divisions which do not require fund, or in which the investors are not willing to put money, or which is not directly connected to the main business and need to be hived off. Generally, the process would have taken a year or so, and could have delayed the process of private equity funding or IPO. Now, through this process, it can happen simultaneously with the all documentary preparation for IPO, etc. So that will be a great thing. Then obviously, because the matter is going now back to regional director, so the government has decided to naturally make the process more compliant, and the reliance on is given to the auditors to check the company's financials and see the loan liability limit, as well as see that the company has not defaulted in past in any of the debt repayment. So that is very important to ensure integrity of the system, and that provision has been given. Then they have also introduced the law requirement that the regulator, sectoral regulator, if there is any, they will also participate in the process. Earlier it was not. It was earlier only the regional ROCs and official liquidator were given the opportunity to file their objection or no objection. But now it will be by the all the regulators which are giving their objection or no objection to NCLT in any merger demerger process would also participate here. So it will be cleaner and compliant process. The process would be, because it is a fast track process and the threshold of approval is also larger, there will be low litigations, faster approval process. It will free the tribunals for bigger and complicated matters only. So it will be a win-win for both kind of transactions. Then it will enhance the India's M&A competitiveness, like I have discussed in case of reverse flip. If that is happening within 3-4 months, or cross-border merger can happen within 3-4 months, companies can take exit. So exit, it is a great boost to the competitiveness of Indian corporate. So that is a very good game changer, big game changer for all the corporates in India. Then shifting from the corporate to boardroom accountability, obviously the fast track merger is more giving reliant to the promoter, to the company and its board of directors. So company, like Vinod sir was saying, the concept of Mir Mafatlal case, where it is saying that the company and its shareholders should decide how and what business they need to do, whether to merge, whether to exit from the business or not. So that ball is given back to the court of the board of directors, not the court litigation, NCLT litigation. That is a big boost, and it gives a lot of confidence on the board process, governance, corporate governance process, and shareholders democracy. So it is a great change. What all strategic applications can be through this new route. So let me discuss, like one is very important and thing, that there are many corporate houses which have hundreds of companies in some time, and which are layered, or there are subsidiary holding company structure, or there is a one holding company and many subsidiaries, or for step down subsidiaries. So through this fast track route, they can be leaned out. The company corporate structure can be simplified, and the holding can go directly to the one holdco or the shareholder directly. It will, and this process, generally being a very complicated, generally took years, but now it can happen within 4 or 5 months. That is a big change. Then startup consolidation can happen fast track way, size and scale, though those startups or those companies which are not registered as startup can participate, because almost all unlisted companies are covered under this route. Then cross-border integration, obviously we have discussed about the reverse flip, but there can be other way around also. So all such kind of cross-border merger integrations can happen through this process. Then intergroup reorganization, if there are multiple companies which are subsidiary of the same holding company, they can merge, consolidate with, or there may be demerger to separate 2 or more companies. So all such kind of transaction can be planned through this route. Now, because we are discussing this, a few issues which still remain unaddressed and which can be a challenge for professionals or corporate, I just wanted to highlight. First is to secure consent of 90% or more of the shareholders for any fast track merger is a good thing for closely held companies, for private company, unlisted company. But for listed companies, though the law specifically provides for merger demerger of involving listed companies or listed company and subsidiaries, but that threshold of shareholders approval would be a big challenge, because in case of listed company, there may be lakhs of shareholders, and out of that 90% of the total shareholders consent, shareholding percentage term also will be a big challenge, because they never come for participation in the shareholders meeting or participation in the voting process. Even if it is e-voting, only a few thousand of people come and vote. So if the promoter holding is not 75% and there are not a few bunch of shareholders which are holding 15% to take the threshold beyond 90%, it will be impossible for listed company to participate in this fast track process. Then minority interest protection, though the law provides for in general under MNA section 232, any creditor having 5% or more of the voting right in class of creditors can put an objection before NCLT. But that here in this case, fast track case, the approval is from the 90% of the shareholder and 90% of the creditor of each class. So in such cases, of persons, let's say one creditor having 6% share in the total debt cannot file an objection in the RD process. So it can be said that their interest may not be getting fully protected. So that can be a challenge. Then unified electronics infrastructure is not available. The application is filed physically and through general form. So there may be a requirement to have unified electronic infrastructure system to fast track and simplify the filing of application, because now the volume is increasing. Earlier the volume was maybe 300-400 cases, but now the volume is quite big. So that will be a big thing. Obviously, a few key things which I think every professional or the corporate who is planning for fast track merger should take into consideration while making. The scheme should be precise and clear. It should have clear appointed date, share exchange ratio in case of merger, accounting treatment provision, and specifically the treatment of employees, because these are the things which in most of the cases we saw that a regional director looks into and asks questions. So if those things are clearly provided with proper logic and supporting documents, then the process would be faster and simplified. Then before filing of the application, it is very important to ensure that all ROC pending filings, if there is any, should be done. Even if there is a delay, there is a default or delay in filing, those should be adjudicated and cleaned up before the merger process is filed for all the companies involved. Then there should be clear coordination between the appointed date and the accounting year, because this appointed date is very important date from which the transfer of assets and liability happens. The scheme is considered to be effective. So whenever we are planning for an appointed date, it has larger implications. So we should keep in mind that all taxation issues, accounting issues, and compliances would trigger according to the appointed date and the accounting year. So it is advisable to align these two dates, and so that it is simplified. Then keep implementation strategy ready, because just approval of the scheme is not the completion of the process of merger amalgamation. We have to understand the process is very fast track, and when the approval comes, the timeline triggers. So you have to, just after the filing, getting the order, copy of order, you have 30 days to file and make the scheme effective. And from there, you need all the steps, post steps, like share allotment, filing of scheme, various filings, then addendum to the agreement if there is any transfer applications of property. All those things need to be pre-prepared. Then operational integration is also very challenging task in many of the cases. If the number of employees are many, if the branches are multiple, then there can be issues of integration, like HR related issues, IT integration related issues, then statutory approvals or GST approval registration. Like if the transfer company is registered in 20 states and transferee is registered only in 3-4 states, and post effectiveness of the scheme, the transfer company's business has to be carried out by the transferee company. It cannot be stopped and then restarted. So all the GST registration in the transferee company beforehand would be an advisable thing. Otherwise, it will be a challenge. So this kind of issues need to be properly planned out and structured, and so that the implementation can also happen immediately after the process is completed. I think broadly I have covered all the things which I feel is important and maybe challenging to get the approval done.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Manoj. Thank you very much for giving this. And now Mr. Santosh Kumar sir has also joined.
great.
Santosh sir. Santosh sir. So Manoj and Rakshita has given that what are the things. Yeah. So now
Good evening to Pawanji and all the participants and the speaker.
thank you, Santoshji. Binod sir has mentioned about this, but he told that majority things Santoshji will cover, and you have also mentioned, sir. When I was giving presentation, I asked 2-3 things. I asked one thing that there are so many regional director, so there is a need of SOP which you have told me that you are working out. So we want to, other than other points, the SOP point, the technological point, and how the inter-regulatory coordination will also take place and resource allocation. Certain things are there which we want to think that being Bombay Western region and the Northern region, these are the two major area where the maximum merger cases will come under this fast track. So we want to listen from your side. Over to you, Santosh sir.
Thank you. I have carefully listened your all the presentation on 233, and most of thing you have already covered about the law procedure and how 233 new amendment will achieve the purpose where 90% approval is needed. And I can only add, wherever you want to know any clarification on 23 from RD side, and to achieve the objective of this amendment in Rule 25, Ministry has advised us to prepare a SOP which will be complied with by the all RDs as well as by the professionals and corporates, so that uniformity of the practices will prevail over our RD, and the application can be approved in one go or at least one resubmission. In this regard, major issues are when you are filing form 10 CAA 10, that is the statement of asset and liabilities. So how much old assessment statement of the asset and liability can be enclosed with the application, because declaration is valid for 1 year, and how much it can be old.
Okay.
Law says 233 says 230 to 32 will apply wherever applicable, mutandis mutandi. Therefore, we have referred section 232 2E, which says if the last audited financial statement is more than 6 months, then you have to attach a provisional financial statement with the application. That is also required in 233 merger. So now question is whether statement of asset liability should be drawn from the last audited financial statement or provisional financial statement, and which should not be more than 6 months. But majority of the opinion from the RDs that it should not be more than 3 months. Let us, ministry is taking call what should be the oldest date of the CAA 10.
Okay.
Second issue is, when you are calling the general meeting, how much old shareholders list will be there for general SOP? If you are calling a video conferencing meeting, it should be not less than 7 days old, this list. But when you are calling a physical meeting, so consensus is it should not be more than 30 days when you are issuing the note from the date of the meeting. From the date of the shareholders meeting, it should not be more than 30 days. Third question is the creditors. Creditors, there is two question arises. One, if you are able to obtain 90% of NOC, whether notice is required to be issued to the all creditors. And I do not know what is the practice in other RD, but in my region, when 90% NOC is received, then companies are not issuing the creditors notice. And people are insisting that as per the law, it is not required. If we obtain 90%, then creditors meeting is not required to be called. And second question is, if we are calling the meeting, what should be the cutoff date of the shareholders list? Sometimes someone attached 6 months, but no business cycle is for 6 months. MSME Act allows only 45 days to clear the MSME's dues. Therefore, the majority of the professionals as well as the RD have the view that the creditors list should not be more than 60 to 3 months, 60 days to 3 months. Third question is, how 200 crores of eligibility criteria for the unlisted public company will be calculated? In that case, we have to go as per the terminology of the rules, which do not include the trade payable. So what we have proposed in the SOP, that 200 for the calculating 200 crores, we should not consider the trade payable. But let us wait. Ministry will decide these things. But if you are going for the 90% approval, then all type of the creditors, secured as well as unsecured, trade payable is coming under unsecured creditors. There 90% of the approval is required. Some suggestion has also come from the SOP. There are some non-banking company which is not registered with the RBI, but as per their main object of the company, or as per the 99 circular, more than 50% of the asset and liabilities are financial asset. In that case, at least company should give NOC to the RBI as a sectoral regulator. But this type of this compliance is lacking, and we are not able to insist later on because of the 60 days requirement. And now you send the notice to the NBFC and then wait for 30 days for objection. So now suggestion has come in that situation where company falls under NBFI category, under as per the RBI Act 1934, but company is not registered. Even though you send a notice to the RBI, if some objection comes, then you have to go as per the observation of the RBI. Some suggestions also came. Here the 15 days time, RDs may be given power to condone the delay in 15 days. Because now at present within 7 days of the shareholders and creditors resolution, RD1 required to be filed, which is now extended to 15 days. Suggestion has also come from the stakeholder that RD should be given power to extend even 15 days by charging the fees or additional fees, which ministry will take call. Next question is, when you are attaching the valuation report, which is mandatory into 33 also. So how much old valuation report should be there, based on which you are deciding the exchange ratio, whether it will be 2 months old, 3 months old, 6 months old valuation report. So now the consensus is, as per the SEBI LODR regulation, the valuation should not be, it is for the listed company, but we have taken the analogy, the valuation should not be older than 6 months. But this is a proposal only. What will be decided by the ministry, what should be the standard policy. Third is, if there is any prosecution, inspection, inquiry, investigation is going on against the transfer company, what will happen for the merger. So normally if there is no severe investigation like SFIO, ED, CBI is going and which will affect their investigation. In normal circumstances, if the offenses are not so grave, in that case, at present we are taking a undertaking from the transferring company that whatever consequences, whatever follow-up action will happen, it will be taken over by transferring company as if the same was enforceable against the transferor company as per one Bombay High Court decision. So we are allowing this thing. So we want a larger clarification so that the uniformity of the practice should be there. Apart from that, there are some regulator for which specific NOC is required when we are opting for the merger, which applicants should take care of and professionals should also take care of. Like I am just highlighting, in case of the listed company, Regulation 37 requires the prior approval of stock exchanges. Share broker also, SEBI prior approval is required. If mutual fund company, SEBI in principle approval is also required. In case of the SEBI transfer agent, prior approval of SEBI is also required. NBFC company, prior written permission of RBI is required. If you are a registered NBFC, then prior RBI approval is required. If you are a telecom company registered with that TRI, then NOC of the TRI is also required. In case of any other nature of the regulator, kindly give a notice where a specific requirement is not there for prior approval. In case of chit fund company also, previous sanction of the registrar of the chit is required. And majority part you have already covered. And as per the procedural aspect, where procedural compliance under 233 is made, normally applicants are insisting as a matter of right that RD should approve the scheme, and we are approving also. But kindly, it should be taken care of that wherever you are doing merger or demerger, the main objective of implementation of the scheme should be the commercial reason. It should not be main reason is to save the tax or take the benefit of the taxation. If it is so, then the income tax department can invoke the GAR provision, and you always keep in the mind wherever you are using the 233 route or 232 route, the major first objective of to achieve the commercial objective should be fulfilled. And if simultaneously you are getting any tax benefit, you will be allowed to get the tax benefit. And if you have any other question to ask from the as a regional director about present practice under section 233 of fast track merger, I can answer.
Thank you, Santoshji. Thank you very much. The main point which we were discussing, that SOP should be there, and you have explained to this that you are coming out, you are talking about all these points. I just, because we will take advantage of this webinar and we will send you what is other things, like one definition is no default condition, outstanding loan definition. Then transfer is not listed company, should not be transferor company. Foreign holding company with Indian holding and subsidiary company, and creditors' consent and object, which you have mentioned, timeline you have mentioned. But problem is the SEBI, RBI and other regulatory body, they are not giving consent and the approval within a short period or the period which you are prescribing. So something we have to work out. Ministry has to talk to them and request them to make this. Then solvency declaration is also one of the issue. Should solvency be judged by book value or fair value of the asset? Is forward-looking 12-month projection or only current solvency? What liability does a director face if later is insolvency occurs despite honest declaration? So various issues are there that I will share with you, and some question which has come that we will definitely see, and the stamp duty issue that is also required in the income tax point of view, that income tax will treat regional directors order as a court order or not when they are providing tax benefit. So certain things are there. SOP is the best way. What we will suggest you, I will just raise some questions which people have asked, combined in all, give it to you, and you can add in your SOP that these questions can also be answered. In my opinion, one standard should also become, because SOP is the internal document which you will prepare, and all the regional director will follow that. But one standard for the industry point of view should also come, where the professional industry should follow this. So let's work out something. So first take the all questions which are there in the mind of people which can helpful. Before going to the question, my question I have asked Vinod sir, Santoshji, just tell me how technology, use of technology we are doing, and I'll give you from where I'm coming. Recently, Stock Exchange has made a software and they have given to all the merchant bankers. And they are saying when you are filing your DRHP prospectus, then in the prospectus, you just run through this AI model. So all the mistakes, all the legal points will, that software will tell you that these are the places where you have done mistakes. And then merchant banker is correcting and then resubmitting this. So the burden of stock exchange is reduced drastically. So should we not do anything like this, taking advantage of this AI model for filing this scheme? So the burden of regional director office should reduce drastically and the scheme should go correctly. This is one question which I just want to ask you.
Sir, right now, RD1 form is a physical form, and we have suggested to make RD1 form as a e-form.
Okay.
So what will happen? So much validation, what information are already captured by our system. For that, we will not verify. System will verify these compliances, and we can easily approve the system. For an example, eligible company, you are clicking the eligible company, where if you are click small company, so my system knows what is your last year turnover, what is your last year paid up capital. If you click this one, so system should read the last financial statement and confirm with the validation you are still small company or not. If you are putting two companies subsidiary and this one, the AOC they should go and see whether you have shown in as a subsidiary or holding company or not. Like all validation, we have prepared RD1 as a web form. When you are filing solvency, now we have to go check our ROC whether you have filed or not. Here there will be a link. We'll click the link. We'll go to the ROC form 10, and we can see if you have not even attached one page or even auditor certificate, but there you have attached. So we can take a copy and attach with our application. So for that purpose, once one step is required, that RD1 form should be a web form with all type of the validation, which system has information, which system should verify whether it is correct or not. And it should have addendum form also. Just like I am giving you an example. You are attaching. We will fix that shareholders meeting will be. List should not be older than 30 days. If you are calling a video conferencing meeting, then it should not be more than 7 days meeting. Then you will attach a list. This is a web list. You will attach the value. You will attach the percentage of holding. Who has casted vote? Who has casted against the resolution? Then with that, if you put system will verify whether you have done 90% or not. For that, you have to prepare a web form and web attachment also. List of the creditors also you have to attach in a web form, and then the web attachment should verify whether 90% whatever declaration is given. Otherwise, what my dealing hands doing? 90% application, they are not giving this type of list in first go. We have to give the complete list of the creditors, give the complete list of the members on that date with their number of shares, their holding. Then in front of it, one column you write who has casted vote, who has casted against the resolution. Then manually we are calculating.
Okay.
If all the web attachment form will come, system will take care of everything. So wherever system can do, by making of attachment, that attachment can be say that verified by the company secretary or a chartered accountant. That can be done. Your another question was the 200. One thing I have not CA 10A application. Here law says 200 crores criteria should be applied twice, to 30 days prior to the meeting and on the date of filing the application. So it means on the date of filing application means you have to file after filing RD1, you have to file again CA 10. On that date also, you were having 200 crores of borrowing as per the definition of 200 crores.
Okay. Okay. Santosh ji, just one point which I asked Vinod ji also. Like today, there are 900 or 800 applications filed across all the NCLT in India. But after this fast track, this is the expectation that 5,000 to 7,000 applications will be filed in a year, and it will grow continuously. And after 2023, around 2023, we will have more than 5,000 companies which will file for merger application. So the point is the infrastructure, the team, and the technology. These all things come together, and the training also of your officers, those who should know the valuation aspect because minority shareholder protection is required. Then we have to just see that solvency ratio, the debt ratio, all these knowledge is also required. So what is the plan of government to do this in this area? Because a number of applications will drastically increase. So you have to have technology support with you, which can do this. And some of the point you have already mentioned, but training part and the infrastructure part or resource part, how you will cope up?
Ministry is helping us, but in the government scenario, the appointment of staff and officers takes own time and following all different procedure. So at present, we do not have problem of the officers and the competent officer also. Staff wise, we have some problem in bigger office, which ministry is certainly in the process of further recruitment. And when staff will be there and technology support, what I have told you, will be also added, then we were able to meet the higher volume of the 233 also. But till date, my all RDs are able to give delivery of service within 60 days.
Okay. Vinod sir, now you were waiting.
My elder brother is there, so I was slightly relaxed. Santosh ji, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Since sir was there, so then no need to say. Sir has answer for every query. But I still repeat, nothing is feasible in the law unless and until both sides of the table join hands to make it successful.
Yes.
Is the professional who has to pull their socks up. They will have to see. And I say, I have already told you, if one is given opportunity on 35th day and he prefers to reply the resubmission on 59th day, then certainly there is something wrong with our professional brothers also. And similarly, if I get the resubmission and answers and queries and response, thereafter I take a time in taking decision, then certainly it is not acceptable. So both ways. We should, I depose more confidence in professional. My brothers, there's nothing like that. They have come up here, there. I have not come across any slightest of the problem in fast track merger. I don't see in future also number, and certainly torch bearer is Santosh ji. He had done it so smoothly and so beautifully. Certainly we are there. And I have already told you, I will not give any answer to any question. Reason being, since Santosh ji otherwise neck deep into all these nuances and handling, and we have already provided all of the regional directors, not regional director, I'll call it. Every officer with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has given its views, suggestions to Santosh ji. Santosh ji has beautifully compiled it and is ready with all capsules. And we can accept any challenge. I am telling you, number is not an issue, not at all.
Okay.
Number is not an issue.
Okay.
There are applications we are dealing with. I am very well aware, Santosh sir. When there was a era when there was a cost to be imposed on shifting of registered office. Slightly, the number brought down to almost 1/10. We were not at peace. But now it is multiplied by 200%. So we have not lost our temper. Similarly, anything can happen. Anything can come. We are ready to deal with it.
Okay.
He has shown us and is leading from the like a tiger.
Your suggestion is also welcome. If we have better software, better technology, and more manpower, certainly we will be more comfortable in giving the delivery of service. But what I felt in 233 application, because a bulky application requires various attachment, wherever new professionals is taking up this assignment, then there is a mistake. But if a professional 1 or 2 times has done 233 application, they used to note down the checklist of all the RDs what they are using, and accordingly they attach all the documents, all the papers, all supporting documents, and they do not face any problem. Even in my region, we have issued the checklist for the all delegated matters. These are the issues where professors are making mistakes. Kindly take care of when you are filing. These things should be perfect. Then 90% chance is there. Procedural not compliance should not be there.
Okay. Okay. Sir, there are some few questions, Santosh ji and Vinod ji and Manoj. Can the existing NCLT application be routed via NCLT for fast track merger?
Practically not possible.
Okay, but if I have a fast track merger eligibility, but I can file the NCLT?
Yes.
Yes, that
Okay.
is.
If I have filed the NCLT application and this is coming under fast track, can I withdraw and file it to the regional director?
Yes, you can do it.
Okay. Is merger of the foreign holding unlisted subsidiary permitted with the listed holding company in India under fast track merger?
Foreign, but 90% approval of Indian subsidiaries required. Status and
Okay.
decision power is not with the RD.
Okay.
And
Fast,
RBI approval is also required.
okay. Fast track merger are non-court monitored and therefore the valuation itself can result in tax implication or avoidance.
Tax implication always, even in 232, at the time of your consideration of the scheme, income tax department normally do not object. They only say keep my right reserve, and when a scheme will be implemented and wherever income tax law applicable, will raise our demand.
Okay.
So that's
एक चीज सर पवन जी
yes sir,
पवन जी ये जो आपने टर्म अभी यूज की ना कोर्ट मॉनिटर्ड, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Both mergers, both have the same mechanism, both has the same approval, both has the same ramification, both has the same fruits, both has the same application, both require the same sort of process that required to be followed. Only thing is certain things are facilitated in a speed mode. That's all. Otherwise, ये court monitored वाला concept मुझे समझ नहीं आया आपका. I'm not able to digest it.
Sir, actually,
I think confusion is. Yes, sir. Sorry. आई थिंक कंफ्यूजन सर ये है कि सेक्शन 47 और जो 220 जो डेफिनेशन अंडर इनकम टैक्स अमालगमेशन की है दैट जनरली सेज अप्रूव्ड बाय एनसीएलटी अंडर सेक्शन
वो डीमर्जर में
So I
फॉर द
think-
टाइम,
हाँ
डीमर्जर में है वो फॉर द टाइम भी। तो
राइट
जब नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल
What about mergers?
तो वो मोस्ट प्रोबेबली
वो
ठीक हो
मॉडिफाई
जाएगा।
हो जाएगा सर। आई बिलीव इट इज mutatis mutandis,
Yes,
all the
yes,
provisions are and power are similar.
हाँ, प्रोजेक्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में डीमर्जर आप ना ही फाइल करें, वो बेटर रहेगा। यदि टैक्स
दूसरी चीज
टैक्स का
मैंने
इशू
आपको पहले भी बताया था, लॉ इज अ इवॉल्विंग कंसेप्ट। लॉ में जैसे जैसे आप इवॉल्व होते रहेंगे, टीथरिंग प्रॉब्लम्स आर रिजॉल्व्ड by way of notification, circular, ease out, clarification, thousand things are there. So why is so worried on the day one? We have to start from somewhere. यही था. I'm appreciating the same sign of worry on the forehead of Pawanji and you. That was available in 2018 when High Court was transferred the jurisdiction.
Right.
When fast track, and now fast track further needs to be given more big basket. So nothing else. These are evolving process. Let us make our pace with them.
Okay. Sir, one question. This is a public question which I'm asking. When the RD refers the scheme to NCLT under section 230(32), does the NCLT continue with the stage of the objection and approvals, and the company does not need to restart the entire process? Point is, they are saying that when you refer it, so whatever you have done, the NCLT start with there, or they can ask the separate documents, separate points of view.
I'm seized with 3-4 matters. 2 were in Assam and 3 are in Delhi. My concept is totally clear on that we submit a reference when we see either it is not prima facie acceptable or it ought to have been rejected.
Okay.
As approval could have been done by us. The only thing is when it requires to be relooked for the purpose of rejection.
Okay.
It cannot be approved in a straightaway manner. So they have to start from there. What are those concerns? From those concerns, they should take it on.
Okay.
Because RD under section 233 subsection 5 does not have the power to reject it. Else he would have loved to reject it.
Okay.
नहीं, मैं थोड़ा अमेंडमेंट करता हूँ, फर्दर एडिशन करता हूँ।
Please, sir.
शर्मा जी के व्यू को।
या विनोद जी, संतोष जी बोलिए।
अभी देखिए दो सिनेरियो है कि इफ यू आर मीटिंग ए एलिजिबिलिटी कंडीशन, फर्स्ट कि 90 you are falling under the eligible company. Second, you have taken 90% approval of the creditors and shareholders, and solvency position you are maintaining. And now new condition also came 200 dates for a listed company. If all these conditions you are fulfilling, procedurally you have attached all the documents that compliance. Now the application is before me and question arises whether it is not in the favor of the creditors interest is affected or public interest is affected. Normally, as per the Supreme Court decisions, I cannot say that creditors interest is affected because you are coming to me by taking 90% approval in value of the creditors. Now only question will come, if the public interest is affected, then I am bound to forward the application to the NCLT, where you are not meeting eligibility criteria, then you are not eligible to file fast track application. You are not meeting 233(1) itself. So I will not jump to the 233(5). Your application is liable to be filed before NCLT. If such application will come, I will return the application with an advice to file with the proper jurisdiction, as in that case I do not have jurisdiction.
Okay.
सर
मैं एक और चीज ऐड कर दूं आपकी क्लैरिटी के लिए। क्लैरिटी आपने अगर 233(5) को टच कर ही लिया है, नाउ पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट इज सच ए कनोटेशन इन लॉ दैट एनी अंडर द सन कम्स अंडर पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट।
नहीं, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट में क्या है कि अभी मान लीजिए मेरे को सीबीआई, ईडी, एसएफआईओ is making a giving a letter, or RBI, sectoral regulator, no, we do not want to allow this merger. So in that case, I will say that okay, go judicial forum and test your and try for on merit. Normally, what we are doing here, where there is this type of agencies are applying, or prima facie we feel that the GAR is applicable and income tax is giving no, it should be objected. In that case, we are sending matter to the NCLT under
One
230.
thing, with the permission of Santosh sir, then second is, अगर मैं भेज भी दूं, reference दे भी दूं, if I send a reference to the NCLT under section 233 subsection 5, it mandates public interest. Now public interest is such a wide connotation that they may appreciate it, they may not appreciate it, NCLT. So it's not that they will go on sub judice. It is nothing but I've changed the platform. Reference is meant only for changing the platform. Instead of me, please go to NCLT, who has the power not only to reject but to approve also. So they may approve it, they may reject it. This what is desired under section 235. Recently, we have experienced NCLT in 2 matters have preferred to remand it back. Remand it back is nothing but a direction to approve.
Okay.
It was a scheme that ought to have been approved. Why I would have sent a reference to NCLT? So a simple question came, then we challenged and matter is submitted before NCLT, and NCLT is about to deliver a judgment on it. So it's not that we have to be categorical. One, two things. I'm with Santosh sir. If not meeting criteria, one choice can be of return, but that is also not mandated in the law. Return of the petition, or you can say dismiss the petition, or you may call it at any threshold you may take some any action. Even that is not permissible, because my job is only to either approve it or to make a reference. There is no third power. If that would have been the case, then NCLT is again remanding back, meaning thereby is there a direction for me to approve? But I think ought not to have been approved because of the biggest mess ever available in some scheme. Certainly not. They may adjudicate, they may approve it, because we have judgment also. When in the serious cases, even NCLT or high courts have preferred to approve the scheme with conditions, with directions to investigating agency, with direction to transferring company. So many things can be done, but that is not feasible under fast track merger. Fast track merger is something which needs to be addressed at the first threshold. Just take this certificate.
Okay.
Is as you put your scheme in one box and other way around, a certificate will come out. It's meant for that. It's not for debates.
Okay.
So that's what my little submission about that sending reference, and then how that reference needs to be dealt by NCLT. Thank you.
Sir, few more questions. I quickly just closing. Can appointed date of fast track merger under section 233 be post dated? Example, application filed in December 25 and appointed date is 1st April 26. Is it possible?
Sir, normally we allow post dated maximum 30 days from the date of my approval.
Okay.
That is the date of the filing INC 28.
But
Not
sir,
be-
the NCLT or court, it was allowed.
A court can do anything, but for what we are doing, not more than 30 days from the date of approval, because law requires you have to make effective the your scheme by filing before NCLT within 30 days from my order. So maximum 30 days I can allow you to have effective date to protect the interest of the stamp duty as well as income tax department. I cannot give, if the event will occur, you will do after 1 year, 2 year, that type of scheme we are not allowing.
Sir, this fast track merger include demerger also?
Yes, I mean now 25,
Yes.
25 very clear. No?
Okay. Sir, is CA10 required to be separately filed physically or only as an attachment to GNL?
You have to file separately with the ROC and serve a copy to the ROC as well as to the RD in RD1 also attached as an attachment.
Okay. Manoj, what will be the estimate cost of merger of 10 private limited company under the new law? This you have to talk separately. You can't. Okay.
But ROC fee is very small, so that is not minuscule thing. Sorry, RD fee is very small. That is not big.
RD,
It's only the professional fee that
और
may.
उसमें new amendment say you have to file in GNL1 only.
Okay, yes.
हाँ, so that cost will be there 10,000 rupees or something.
So very cheap, very cost-effective system in India.
Yeah, 10,000. What is the cost? 10,000.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, sir, when I was comparing with the international scenario, then the cost of these international scenarios is also very high. But here is very competitive. Excellent webinar. Please share presentation. Yes, we will share. Malla sir, we will send it to you. Question is merger of foreign subsidiary with Indian holding company under fast track merger. Yes, it is allowed. When provision of merger LLP will be notified under LLP Act 2008. Santosh ji, koi any guidance?
नहीं, अभी तो नहीं है allowed. Only one class of the company will merge. Company can merge with the company. LLP will merge with the LLP. Otherwise, you make a conversion of each other where you are feel suitable.
Okay, okay. So I think we have covered all the questions which people have asked. Santosh sir, one more suggestion is there. The dispute resolution should also be come out. Like if RD delay, reject or fall back to NCLT.
Is it not beyond the scope of today's debate?
आपको
On a lighter vein. On a lighter vein.
पवन जी एग्जाम्पल बताता हूँ. आज के दिन से 1/4/14 से कंपनी लॉ आया है, नया कंपनी लॉ.
Yeah.
और बॉम्बे के इतिहास में अभी तक 3 कंपनी एनसीएलटी को भेजी गई है.
Okay, okay.
और एक कंपनी अप्रूव हो गई है, एक कंपनी अबाउट टू अप्रूव है. ठीक
Okay.
है. और एक कंपनी बोल रहा है ना, हम एनसीएलटी में नहीं सुनना चाहते हैं, आरडी सुने इसको.
Okay.
कोर्ट में पिटीशन लगाता है,
Okay.
आरडी सुने इसको. तो बस ये 3 केस हमारे पास आई है. नॉर्थ बड़ी
Fine, sir, विनोद जी आपके पास
मेरे पास 3 केसेस हैं और 3 केसेस की वजह है कि बहुत सीरियसनेस थी. दे हैव प्रेफर्ड टू डायरेक्ट मी रिमांडेड बैक विद द मैटर ऑन द ग्राउंड दैट पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट इज नॉट प्रॉपर्ली डिस्प्लेड. आई सेड दैट इज नन ऑफ द power of yours to remand me back. At the best you could reject or approve and you cannot direct me to.
As when the public interest is no, you are not approving public interest, then how can you approve the public interest for sure?
One more thing I am telling you, Pawanji, let me be very fair. Scheme itself is a public interest. No
Yeah.
need to wait.
Yes, absolutely right.
Shows the employees' concern.
Scheme था कि हम फॉरवर्ड करते हैं.
concern.
So how NCLT will deal? NCLT should deal it as a second motion application. When 233(5) we are forwarding because 90% approval of the creditors and shareholder already taken. So then they are not seeking the direction of the shareholders and creditors meeting or dispensal. In that case, it should be treated as second motion application.
Sir, एक और चीज है ना, they cannot direct us to remand back the matter to read again. Is a direction for me to approve because I don't have the power to reject. Wish that I would have a power to reject. Then give me back, I'll attend it. So I have written in many matters, wherever you prefer to remand back me the matter, give me the power to reject also. Then I will deal with the matter. In case no power to reject, meaning direction cannot be given to me for approving the matter. That is the only concern.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh ji. Sir, just a minute. For Santosh ji and Vinod ji, what we are doing on the basis of these discussion in the law point and the where the people will be confused, we have prepared some questionnaire that on these issues and on the basis of that these should be included in the SOP. So we will share with you all these things and some question which has come where people are still confused. We'll try to write and do this. And we will help you if any SOP you are giving for public comments. We will add other points also and help Ministry and Regional Director Office because this is a very win-win situation for all. And it will be good for ease of doing business in India. And entire burden is on your shoulders. I think majority burden of India is on Vinod ji's and Santosh ji's shoulder.
Privileged to deliver more.
Yes. So
I'm privileged to deliver more.
Before closing, we have a ritual. So 30 seconds, you can close, sir. Vinod sir, I'll start with you. Your last comments. on this fast track merger?
Mine comes.
We are just ritual.
Sir, only thing, privilege to give ease of doing business in such a speedy mode will be. I'm fortunate to be part of it.
Okay.
Fortunate.
Okay. Manoj, your point?
Sir, I think it is a game changer. It will be. Everyone is always complaining that merger process is quite complicated, quite time consuming, and hence decisions are not being taken. Now it will be coming in very large number, so that simplification and exit for many of the company would happen. So I think it is a game changer thing.
Okay, Rakshita, you?
Again, it's a very welcoming and significant step and the recent amendment, and we as a consultant also will be able to execute the strategic restructuring moves with ease, especially where the time and cost are very critical. So yes, of course, its amendments are very welcome.
Santoshji, your last word, sir.
The major benefit of 233 that you need not approach to various NCLT. Transferring company RD jurisdiction, you can file this one. This will save time, and within 60 days you can get an approval. And it is a entry of the chartered accountant company secretaries who is doing the ROC RD practices. They will also get benefited in the 233 merger, but they have to increase their capacity in terms of drafting the schemes, taking care of the income tax issues, and it is a win-win situation for the corporate as well as professional, and professional particularly the chartered accountant and company secretary, because in Mumbai 90% of the mergers are dominated by the advocate firms, either for drafting stage or taking up in the NCLT matter.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. This will shift to the CA and CS and that work, and that is for professional work will come.
Provided you cover the drafting stage, income tax issues, other like stamp duty, all expertise you should combine together. Being a multidisciplinary firm of the professionals, then only you can beat these things and take away from NCLT to regional director. Otherwise, they will again shift to the regional director office also.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you, Vinodji. Thank you, Santoshji, Manoj, and Rashita for giving this insight of the entire thing and all the issues, and very well covered, very well discussed. So with this, thank you all. Thank you, my all panelists as well as all the participants. Friends, this type of program when we do, it's feel privileged, and the knowledge journey of our will continue. So 10th October, next Friday, 4 to 6, we have a decoding managerial remuneration. All issues of managerial remuneration will be discussed on this day. Till then, thank you very much. Goodbye.